What's going on YouTube? It's Tom here and we're back with another video today. Before we get into this really exciting video, I want to take a moment here to announce something. We're getting really close to 500 subscribers, and once we hit 500 subs, we will be doing a giveaway here that includes 6 knives. Nothing crazy, but there are 6 knives to be given away, and there will be individual winners for at least 4 of those. So if you guys want to be notified about that, or I obviously want to be entered into it, you have to be subscribed. So go ahead and do that now, and that should be coming up here soon. I think we're 23 subs away right now. So yeah, if you guys want to subscribe, that'd be awesome, and that way you guys are already entered in for part of the giveaway. There will be a video as soon as I hit 500 subs with details on how to officially enter that giveaway. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video. As you guys see here in front of me, we have a pretty special knife today. This is a Holt Bladeworks Specter in M390. This was loaned to me by a buddy in the Knife Club Discord. I'm not sure if he wanted me to say his name or not, so I'm not going to. If I'll get a hold of him after the video, and if he wants me to, I'll put his Instagram down in the description like we did for the last person who donated some knives. Absolutely gorgeous knife. My first time ever seeing or handling one of these in person. And he sent it to me with the intention of steel testing it. And this is the infamous M390. So I was pretty excited that he offered that. And I'm extremely grateful for it. Obviously, this is a pretty darn expensive knife, probably upwards of about $1,000. Most expensive knife I've handled, and the most expensive knife I have tested, obviously. So anyhow, Holt does their M390 at 61 with a cryo treatment. For those of you who don't know, basically what cryo does is it turns any of that retained austenite into martensite, which austenite, if you guys don't know, is kind of like a gummy portion of the steel, and that if there's too much retained, it's a little bit soft by the edge. And it's actually kind of obvious in sharpening, as I'll get to here in a little bit. But what cryo does is it actually greatly increases edge retention because of that. Generally, some of the higher end makers, I know Shiro does a cryo, Holt obviously does a cryo. There's other companies out there. It's even starting to trickle into some of the lower end stuff. I think it was Reich is doing it on their 14C28N now, I believe. So it's just something that manufacturers are finding out is really beneficial, and actually it's shown to be pretty beneficial in the couple of knives that I've tested with a cryo as well. So as far as specs go, this is 0.12 inch stock, pretty standard stuff there, and at 20 degrees per side, this is 20 thousandths behind the edge. Now you guys might be wondering why I went 20 degrees per side on this one. I normally do 18 degrees per side for all of my tests. I got a hold of the guy who lent it to me. This thing came at 21.5 degrees per side, and it was, I want to say, 18 thousandths behind the edge at that point. I told him, you know, we can go to 18 per side, and it might make the bevels a little bit bigger, or we can go 20, and it'll pretty much keep them the same, maybe make them a little bit bigger. And we decided to go on 20. Obviously, I didn't want to make the bevels huge on a $1,000 knife unless he was okay with it, so that's what we had to work with. So you can kind of take these with a grain of salt, the results for this with a grain of salt. It'll be in the Google Doc, and I'll put an asterisk next to it denoting that it was tested at a different edge angle. So it should relate, but not in apples to apples comparison with some of the other knives. As far as the sharpening on this goes, I use the normal progression 200 to 1000 grit diamond, 16 and 4 micron on CBN on leather. It sharpened wonderfully. This is a pleasure to sharpen. Normally, if I have to reprofile, even that 1.5 degrees, it can take a while. This one really didn't take me too long. It moved pretty easily and deburred beautifully, and that was in part due to the cryo, I believe. What I've found out is these steels that are cryoed, like the Shiro F95 that I tested, as well as this one. Those knives with cryo, you get to the last couple of stones and you start doing the alternating strokes. and the burr just pretty much falls off. It was stupid sharp before it even hit the strops, and the strops just obviously took that to the next level. As you guys can see here in the picture I'm throwing up on the screen, it took a very, very high level of sharpness. Very impressed with that, very keen edge, and I couldn't be more pleased with it. The protocol was the same. We cut cardboard until it could no longer cut computer paper, and it did cut for quite a while, although I was cutting longer strips than normal, so it seemed like less. The knife was actually super comfortable in hand to cut with. The only thing that I didn't really like was the little milling marks here, the little grooves that they have milled out. The edges of those were a bit of a hot spot once we started to get about halfway through the test. Not a big deal, but something to be noted. So without further ado, the results are Holt's M390 at 61 cut 343.6 feet. Now, the only other M390 results I have on my channel are a Bradford Guardian 3 and that CKF More 5 that I had the other day. I have had a result of 20 CV in my Benchmade Anthem, but that one was low hardness, as you guys will see probably in the next video when I'm talking about the results for that. So all three knives I've tested are relatively in the sweet spot for hardness goes. So these results are directly in line with that Bradford Guardian 3 and M390. They say that's supposed to be 60 to 61. That cut 338.45 feet. So there's a 1% difference between this and the Guardian 3. The Custom Knife Factory More 5, we did have that one Rockwell tested, and that was 60 HRC. That cut 359.54 feet, and that's a 4.4% difference. That one was a little bit more. I think angle came into play a little bit. If I bumped this down to the 18, I might have gotten a little bit more than that CKF More 5. But all in all, I think the results are very comparable, and it's obvious to see by these tests that something in the 60, I think all of these were between 60 and 61. All of these at 60 to 61 perform very, very well. And a well-done M390 is definitely a top-tier steel, and exactly what it's cracked up to be, what it's advertised to be, really. Once you hit 60 HRC plus, it seems, it becomes absolutely fantastic as far as edge retention goes. And that's why at this point I won't buy any M390 that's not verified to be 60 plus. Even 61 is on the lower end of where it can really take off, as shown from Gerald's test with that one that was like 62 or 63, I can't remember. But all in all, great performance from this Holt Specter, exactly what you'd expect in a roughly $1,000 knife. Fantastic knife. There will be a review of this coming here soon in the next couple of videos as well. Thank you again to the fellow who loaned me this one, and like I said, if he's okay with it, I will put his Instagram down in the description below. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. You can hit the subscribe button to be notified on when I'm doing that 500 sub giveaway, as well as if you guys want to continue to see videos just like this one. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.